What is the best time to eat before exercising? Okay, so let's talk about carbohydrate. What are the functions of carbohydrates? Number one, it's a major energy source. Number two, your nervous system, so your brain and your nerves, relies primarily on carbohydrate for energy. Thirdly, your liver and your muscle cells store glycogen, and those glycogen is energy for you when you exercise. That glycogen is synthesized from carbohydrates. So those three functions. Now I've got a question and I want you to answer in the comments. I want you to pause the video and answer in the comments and then watch this again. So no cheating here. Are you ready? When we eat excess carbohydrates, what do they turn into in our bodies? What do they become in our bodies? Go ahead, answer in the comments, pause this video, answer, and then watch this again after you answer. So this is the good news part, okay? Excess carbohydrate does not turn into fat primarily in your bodies. Carbohydrates primarily turns into or gets synthesized into glycogen in your body to be stored in your muscle cells and also in your liver. Don't believe me? Look at China. They eat so much rice, but yet they are so lean. Why is it important to make sure you have enough glycogen storage in your muscle cells and in your liver? When you exercise, when there is high glycogen storage, or if it's maintained throughout your exercise, you can perceive your training as easier compared to someone else who's had depleted glycogen level when you're doing the same sort of training. Now, when someone's glycogen level is decreasing rapidly when they exercise, they experience fatigue quicker, they get tired, and that really doesn't help you get fitter in the long term, doesn't help you get healthier in the long term if your glycogen storage is just depleting so quickly. So those who are constantly fatigued, watch what you're eating, because a constant low supply of glycogen can lead to fatigue. So heard of the word carb loading? I'm sure most of us have heard of carb loading. What it really means, when we consume carbohydrates, say 3 days before a big endurance event, a marathon or a triathlon, we are consuming all these carbohydrates so that we are synthesizing glycogen for use later on in 3 days' time. Now, carbohydrate loading really is translated as glycogen loading, isn't it, if you think about it? Okay, so here I am to answer your question now. When is the best time to eat before my workout? All right, take notes. 2 hours before you're gonna start exercise, or 5 minutes before you start exercise. So 2 hours before or 5 minutes before you start exercise. Now, when do you not want to eat before you exercise? This is a really, really important one. You do not want to eat 15 to 45 minutes before you exercise. Why? Why, Alvina? Well, it's because when you consume food 15 to 45 minutes before an exercise, this starts stimulating your insulin production. And what does insulin hormone do? Insulin helps in the transportation of glucose from your bloodstream into your muscle cell. So when you start stimulating insulin 15 to 45 minutes before you exercise, when you start exercising, there is a spike in insulin. And a lot of the glucose gets transferred into your muscle cells. What happened to your bloodstream? There's low glucose. Then you get hypoglycaemia, low glucose in your bloodstream. That causes fatigue to kick in very quickly once you start exercising. What about having some small amount of snacks during your exercise? So for endurance exercises, for example, like if you're going through a marathon, please do have some sugar consumption during your run. Your body has a more stable blood glucose level when you are already exercising and then consuming small amount of glucose. Alright, and I've got one bonus information for you. When is the best time to eat after your exercise? Alright, here's the answer. The best time to eat before your exercise is within the first 2 hours when you stop exercising. Research has shown that time frame is the best window for glycogen synthesis. It's got a very high rate of converting glucose into glycogen during that period of time. So 2 hours after you exercise. After that, the rate drops. Now, talking about food and nutrition, I've got a recipe coming up for you. I would really appreciate it if you can give me a like at the end of this video if you enjoyed it. It will mean a lot to me. It does take time to record and edit them, so it will mean the world to me. Also, subscribe for more health content. Family, I'm going to show you how I make my oatmeal every morning. So this is what I have. It's filled with energy, with antioxidants. I add in my own capsule to help with anti-inflammation and to help regulate my appetite as well. So let's get into it. So this is how I make it. I've got a cup of oats, my anti-inflam and appetite regulator, mixed berries. These are frozen berries, about a handful or a little bit more, depending on what you like. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Alright, so now I'm going to put this in the microwave for about 2 minutes. So there you go, family, a quick and easy breakfast recipe. I'm going to have some now. So delicious. The honey gives it a bit of a nice sweet taste to it, and the berries gives it a bit of sourness. So it's a really nice combination. Go out there, conquer the world, stay healthy. Stay tuned for our next episode because I'm going to share all our scientific tips about how to get into your beach body and what exercises are the best for that. So stay tuned. I'll see you in the next episode.